First, we are going to use Data Explorer in the Azure portal to add some data to our Cosmos DB. In the process, I am going to cover the partition keys and unique constraints. I am logged into the Azure portal, and as you can see, I already have created an Azure Cosmos DB SQL API account. We went through the steps of provisioning an Azure Cosmos DB account in the previous modules demo. So now let's go ahead and create an empty database and a container inside it. Click on Data Explorer, and I'm going to click on New Container. So let's see if I have any existing database within this account. Click on Use Existing, and as you can see, I don't have any existing database. So let's go ahead and create a new database. So I'm going to choose the ID Destination DB01 for my new database, and I'm not going to provision throughput at the database level. Let's scroll down, and let's go ahead and create a new container. I'm going to name my container People, and for the partition key, I am going to choose the city of the person. Also, I am okay with 400 RUs per second. This database is going to be used for the purpose of this demo and doesn't need to meet any performance criteria. So before creating the container, I want to go ahead and create a unique key. So let's click on Add Unique Key. So in this text box, I need to specify the name of the property or a combination of properties that I need to be unique. For the purpose of this demo, I want the email address of the person to be unique. So let's click on OK. And let's wait for the container to get created. Let's click on that and click on Items. So now I am going to go ahead and insert these 4 items into this container. Let's start with the first one. So as you can see, the ID is 1000, the name is Reza, email is reza@test.com, and the city is Toronto. Let's select that, click on New Item, and let's paste in my object. Click on Save, and as you can see, my object is in. Let's go ahead and quickly enter the second object. So the second object's ID is 1001, the name is John, the email is john@test.com, and the city is Boston. So as you remembered, I have selected city as the partition key. So Reza and John will be stored in different logical partitions. So let's click on New Item and paste my second object and click on Save. So far I have 2 objects in this database. The first one with the email address of reza@test.com and the second object with the email address of john@test.com. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter the third object. The ID is 1002, the name is Andy, but for the email address I am going to choose reza@test.com and the city will be Toronto. So what do you think it will happen? I already have the email address reza@test.com in this collection, and I have chosen the email field to be unique. Click on New Item, paste the object, and I'm going to click on Save. And as you can see, I got an error from Cosmos DB because I am not allowed to insert reza@test.com as a value for the email field. Click on OK. So now let's go ahead and enter our last object. The ID is 1003, the name is Andy, the email is still reza@test.com, but this time I am inserting this item into a different logical partition because I'm choosing Boston as the city now. Let's select that and click on New Item and paste my fourth object. So what do you expect to happen? I already have the email reza@test.com in this collection. Let's go ahead and see. Clicking on Save, and my object is in. Here, the uniqueness is defined in the boundaries of logical partitions. And because I am saving this new item into a separate logical partition, I am fine. In other words, it is okay to have the same email address more than once in my collection, as long as these email addresses are entered into different logical partitions. So if I go ahead and click on the first object, you see that the email is still reza@test.com, but I am in a different logical partition, which is defined by the partition key Toronto.